facebook.com/onenewsph, or you can watch us on YouTube, YouTube One News PH. Okay, today is November 18, 2020. It's a Wednesday, and work continues. Work continues in the evacuation areas. Work continues in the delivery of relief goods. Work continues with the restoration of power and communications in the hard-hit areas of the Philippines, particularly in Bicol, in Cagayan, Isabela, etc. Today, we will be speaking with Secretary William Dar of the Department of Agriculture dahil marami po, for those of you who may not realize it, the casualties of typhoons, the mortalities are not just humans. In this particular case, flooding, massive flooding or unexpected flooding like this kills a lot of animals, and we've already received reports na marami pong namatay na mga aso, mga baboy, mga kung ano pang hayop ang namatay sa mga probinsya. And we will speak with the good secretary regarding how the government can help replenish these stocks, because as far as pork or, pig, hog raising is concerned, alam niyo naman po, ang Kuya Cito, I'm a volunteer lecturer for BMEG, and I was just speaking with some people yesterday, and apparently it was bad enough that the country was hit with African swine fever, which really cut down our stock. But now with the flooding that happened in places like Bicol, Isabela, chances are the prices of pork will really go up over the holidays and further on, and chances are the recovery might be difficult. So let's find out from Secretary William Dar. And then after that, we hope to speak with Professor Guido David, regular on agenda as well, because there are two major concerns. The first is that there are certain hot spots that have to be monitored because mukhang may potential for outbreak, at least certain places in two certain provinces that were mentioned. And then also, of course, the concern for the second wave, kung kailan gumaganda na yung takbo natin, kung kailan nakokontrol na natin, or at least nababawasan natin yung pagkalat ng COVID, eh biglang tinamaan naman tayo ng bagyo, tinamaan tayo ng baha, nawala ang social distancing, and the chances or the likelihood of a second wave because of those extreme situations may happen. Let's find out from Guido David what they see in the OCTA Research Group. Last but not the least, we will speak with Vice Mayor and political leader of Cebu City, Michael Rama. Alamin natin what is the situation, because apparently there have been some reported, there's a reported resurgence of COVID in Cebu, and syempre medyo kailangan malaman natin ano ang sitwasyon. But before we do that, let's go on to the front page of the Philippine Star. Bannering the headlines, Palace rejects calls for academic break. This stance is the same with the Commission on Higher Education, which has already rejected the proposal before, because even before this parade of typhoons, a lot of people were already saying, let's slow down on the academic year, or let's just suspend the academic year. But now with the typhoon hitting several regions, that's a concern. Anyway, Malacanang says, no way, Jose, go to school. At the top of the page, the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, has released 1.5 billion pesos to local governments hit by recent typhoons. Ayan po, they are throwing all the money they can throw at the problem, hopefully to fast-track the recovery. President Duterte is also set to sign the executive order that will create Build Back Better Task Force. another task force, and another problem. So that's how we solve problems. We create task force. I'm sorry, I'm not being sarcastic. Pero parang I just hope this task force actually accomplish something, because sometimes the task force are too little for the humongous problem like the IATF. It's a task force, but the COVID-19 pandemic is not a small problem. It should have been, and it won't be a temporary problem. It will be a problem for at least 2 to 3 years. In any case, the lower half of the page, Cagayan Governor Manuel Mamba backs the calls for an investigation of the Magat Dam management. As he says, this can provide them information if they should really press charges. Kasi kumbaga, nag-iisip, no? Nag-iisip si Governor Mamba, didemanda ko ba itong mga to o hindi, and may batayan ba? Because the problem is, everyone has now focused on Magat Dam. But what about all of the people na napag-usapan namin ni Governor Mamba, yung bang mga nandoon sa bulubundukin, yung mga nandoon sa upper provinces, naputol ng mga puno, ginawang vegetable garden, ginawang vegetable terraces, yung northern part of the Philippines. Yung mga miners, yung mga illegal and legal mining company, etc. At pati na yung mga land developers. Marami po dyan na parang tinuturo lagi natin Magat Dam. Tinuturo natin lagi illegal mining, illegal logging. Pero paano naman yung mga vegetable gardens, yung mga garden terraces, etc. No? Medyo I'm sorry, no? Magagalit sa akin yung mga kaibigan natin na nagtatanim ng gulay. Pero when you reach a point when there's an oversupply of vegetables, and it is simply being thrown into the ravines kasi wala nang pagbentahan, wala nang pagdalhan, dahil sa sobrang dami nga, kasi sobrang lawak na ang tinatamnan. Medyo overproduction, overexpansion, and then oversupply, and then overwaste. Okay, so yan lang po, no? In any case, going back, the COVID-19 pandemic is expected to be the top agenda at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC Summit. So there you go. And then also I have to make mention on the top of the upper right-hand top of the Philippine Star, if we can flash that again, gentlemen, may picture po doon ng ito yan. Sige, kasi para hindi na tayo mahirapan. Ayan, may picture po yan. Cell site po yan, tower. Ayun, okay. On the upper right hand, the MVP group supports the government in its power and telco restoration efforts, sending its own teams of experts to help bring back basic services to the most affected provinces following the series of typhoons. PLDT Smart, the country's largest integrated telco, has declared full restoration of its services in Camarines Norte and Albay, while Meralco's social development arm, One Meralco Foundation, joined the government's power restoration rapid deployment force Kapatid in repairing the facilities in Catanduanes and Camarines Sur. Okay, binabasa ko lang po yan kasi para makita nyo na kahit hindi na nila problema, pinoproblema rin ng mga kumpanya yung mga nasalanta so that there will be restoration of power and communication. Okay, let's go now to our first interview. Secretary William Dar of the Department of Agriculture. Good morning, sir.
Po sa lahat po ng viewers ninyo.
Okay, sir, magandang umaga po at unang katanungan ko, kamusta ba ang assessment ng Department of Agriculture sa mga affected areas? Kasi kahapon po, nag-Zoom meeting kami ng mga kabimeg, yung mga BIMEG customers and followers, at medyo nabigla ako kasi mukhang matindi nga yung tama ng mga bagyo, marami raw hayop ang mga namatay. As far as the official reports go, what do you have to share with us, Mr. Secretary?
Kasi ito nitong nakaraan na isang buwan, di ba? Ang daming mga typhoons na na bumisita sa ating bansa at ang laki na po yung pinsala sa ating agrikultura. Ang datos po natin ngayon for all these typhoons from Pedrito, Quinta, Rolly, and Ulysses ay umabot na po ng 11 billion pesos ng damages and losses sa agrikultura. At talagang malaki po ito. Pero gusto ko rin banggitin, Cito, na before a typhoon comes, mayroon naman yung pag-asa forecast in advance at nag-early warning advisories po tayo. As a result of these early warning advisories, ay marami tayong na-save from the onslaught of typhoon na worth 32 billion pesos of agricultural produce. So ganun po ang datos po natin as of today.
Okay, now in terms of kasi natatandaan ko bago ho nagkaroon ng Santa Cruzan ng mga bagyo, alam ko nakaka-pick up na yung agriculture eh. In fact, I remember there was a slight uptick sa sa pagtaas ng agrikultura. Paano ito?
Nung second quarter, tumaas agrikultura lang ang tumaas ng growth na sektor sa ekonomiya, 1.6%. Then followed by the third quarter performance ng agriculture, 1.2% itong third quarter. The only sector of the economy na may positive growth. So maganda yung direksyon at saka pagtaas, pag-sustain ng positive growth sa sektor ng agrikultura. Then came itong typhoons during the last quarter. I hope na in spite of this 11 billion losses in agriculture, ay makarecover pa tayo kasi ang fourth quarter po ang pinakamataas na contribution ng agrikultura if you compare by quarters.
At saka kung iisipin naman natin na kalihim okay, nasaktan ang Bicol, nasaktan ng Cagayan, Pampanga, Isabela, pero marami rin tayong ibang areas naman na makakabawi o maibabawi para sa agriculture. Tama po ba yung assessment na yon?
Yeah, tama po yun, Cito. Kagaya dito sa the whole of Luzon has been covered by these typhoons. So you have Mindanao and Visayas, although some parts of Visayas were affected, pero in general, sila po ang magpuno ng mga kakulangan kagaya ng vegetables. We are mobilizing nationwide para yung sa Metro Manila ay hindi masyadong magkulang ng mga vegetables. Nakikita natin yung pag-angat po ng presyo at maganda po yung ginawa na ating mahal na Pangulo na dineklara ang the whole of Luzon in a state of calamity para mapanatili po natin, ma-maintain po natin yung mga presyo ng mga basic agricultural commodities, including that of the processed products. So the DTI are working together to see to it that the price freeze as a result of this state of calamity will be properly observed.
Okay, obviously because of the state of calamity, stay rin lahat ng mga presyo, hindi pwedeng magtaas. Pero what about supplies, Mr. Secretary? Kasi may mga nangangamba, nako baka wala na ako mabiling hamon para sa Pasko. Nako baka mamaya yung chicken na dati ay 100 something lang, baka mag 300 na rin dahil sa Central Luzon nabaha. Ano po ang forecast niyo in terms of supply and prices of those materials or those products?
Okay, let's start with rice, Cito. Sa rice as of today, in spite of the losses, sa rice in terms of losses, ay ang 6 na araw ang nawala in terms of our based on our rice consumption daily. So 6 na araw ang nawala. Pero ang inventaryo po natin ngayon sa bansa ng rice ay 98 days. So -6, we still have 3 months, good for 3 months to last sa rice. So wala dapat tayo ikabahala at mayroon tayong sapat na rice inventory sa bansa. Now,
Yes, sir.
sa manok naman, alam natin na matumal dati ang industriya kasi yung lockdown as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, walang mga restaurants, institutional buyers, talagang bumagsak ang poultry. At ngayon lang umaangat. At sana, we have enough inventory also for chicken in the country beyond mga 5 months. Now, this is the time na itong chicken inventory, itong manok, ay siya yung magpuno ng kakulangan sa protein source kagaya ng baboy. Alam natin na while we are still doing our best to mobilize more pork from Mindanao and Visayas kasi although Mindanao in some areas ay apektado ng ASF ay mas marami yung hindi apektado, so we are mobilizing more supplies from Mindanao including that of Visayas for Metro Manila. So yun po ang pinapaigting po natin, and that's why nakikita ninyo na bumababa na halos bago dumating itong Ulysses ay dumadami na yung pork supply sa Metro Manila. But again, with Ulysses, talagang challenge po tayo ay sana nga mas marami pang ma-mobilize po natin na mga pork in the box from Mindanao and Visayas for
Yun nga po, kasi maraming may mga nakausap ako kahapon at saka last week na nagsabi sa akin na ipaabot sa inyo yung appeal na total naman may tunay na shortage sa Metro Manila at saka sa Luzon. Ready naman daw silang mga tiga Mindanao, tiga Visayas na tumulong kasi marami rin silang production. Dahil yung mga restaurants din doon hindi masyadong bumibili, pwedeng ipadala yun dito to just kind of stabilize things.
Yes, we will continue to enhance our engagement in our mobilization sa mga partners natin dyan sa mga nagnenegosyo from Mindanao. And we have even coordinated doon sa Department of Transportation para mas maraming mga shipping lines na pwedeng magamit po dito sa transportation ng mga food supplies from Mindanao and Visayas for Luzon.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, I want to give credit where credit is due. Kayo po ay nag-introduce ng mga concepts, yung mga solusyon, katulad binuhay niyo muli yung mga kadiwa center ba noong panahon ng kabataan ko, yung mga urban markets, mga mobile markets. So nakakatulong yon. Tsaka yung urban gardening. Kasi yung problema natin ngayon dyan sa norte, bagamat baka baka maban na ako dyan sa mga mountain regions. Kasi may mga nag-agree naman na nasobrahan na yung vegetable farming doon sa mga bundok na yon. Kanya ngayon, pag umulan, binabaha naman lahat yung nasa patag. So, yung urban gardening mo is, I think, one of the best solutions para hindi na bumabiyahe ng napakalayo ang gulay at ang mga tao magkaroon ng appreciation sa sarili nilang produkto. Kamusta na po ba yung mga solutions na ginawa ninyo yan before this Santa Cruz ng mga bagyo?
Itong urban gardening, as you said, Cito, we will continue. Ang laking tulong during this last 4 months. At sabi ko nga, let's have a second round kasi as a result of this Santa Cruz ng mga bagyo ay kailangan talagang tuloy-tuloy po yung intervention, yung gardening sa urban areas. I visited San Mateo. We visited San Mateo yesterday. That's Rizal. And I saw the opportunity, ang lapit sa Metro Manila. So itong mga periphery outside periphery ng Metro Manila na mga Calabarzon at saka Region 3 ay naglunsad po kami ng food basket for Metro Manila project. Para tuloy po talaga na because of logistics, flooding somewhere here and there, we really need to push for more food production in the periphery of Metro Manila para mas mabilis po yung pagdating at continuous po ang supply ng pagkain. So yesterday, as I've said, we launched it in San Mateo Rizal. About 30 minutes nandito ka na sa Quezon City. So sabi ko, this is a good time to again put in place an idea na talagang sustain dapat itong idea na food basket for Metro Manila.
Aba, mabuti pag gawin na lang nating food basket ang Metro Manila, Secretary. Kasi ako, aakyat lang ako sa bubong ko ngayon. Meron na ako doon, may talong na ako doon, meron akong kamatis, etc. Sabi ko nga sa mga kapitbahay ko, ewan ko kayo, alam ko yung aking kinakain, walang chemicals at masarap yung kinakain ko. But, Secretary...
Cito, yes, sa tama kayo, this is on top of urban agriculture, of urban gardening. Yun. So tama yun, i-sustain po natin. But on top of that ay itong food basket for Metro Manila sa mga adjoining regions.
Ayun. Matanong ko lang, Secretary, kasi marami pa rin naman nagsasabi sa akin, Cito, we want to join this urban gardening. Pero parang walang on the ground promotion ba sa mga barangay? Kasi yung mga barangay puro beautification at saka I remember the president early this week was talking about planting millions of trees. I have long been suggesting we stop planting these so-called fast-growing trees and we start planting more fruit trees. Kasi sa Metro Manila, ang natanim, puro na lang mga beautification na mga puno, mabilis nga, maporma, pero wala namang pakinabang. So yung Pilipino, walang ganang magtanim kasi wala namang pakinabang sa kanila. I mean, you grew up in a, pasensya na sir, hindi naman sa nagdidikta ako, pero masarap pumitas ng kamyas, masarap pumitas ng santol, kahimito, etc. But we seem to have lost that already, and that's why people can just cut trees because there's no connection.
Tama ka Cito. Alam mo kahapon, San Mateo, malapit kako, mag-agroforestry tayo na hindi lang forest trees ang itanim sa watersheds, ay fruit trees ang itatanim natin. And on top of that, mga bamboo. So may gamit po, hindi lang forest trees. These equally important commodities na itatanim. And I mentioned this last Sunday when we were in Cagayan sa Tuguegarao with the President. Kasi we were discussing yung problema sa flooding doon. So sabi ng karamihan, reforestation. Okay, sabi ko, we strongly support reforestation. But see to it na hindi lang forestries kasi dapat may economic opportunity na makukuha na rin agad ng population around those forest areas. So minabuti ko sinabi na dapat native fruit trees even has to be promoted in tandem with the forest trees. At isama ko na ngayon ang bamboo. Karamihan dapat para doon sa mga riverbanks, bamboo will be very important para ma-minimize po yung landslide or soil erosion.
Aba, para doon sa mga nanonood po, ako tanim ng kawayan doon sa lugar ko kasi pag kailangan nyo ng pang-alalay sa pananim, yung mga ika nga nila, yung pole para doon sa string beans, etc. Kailangan nyo ng kawayan, kailangan nyo gumawa kulungan ng manok, kailangan nyo ng kawayan. Kailangan nyo gumawa ng parol, kailangan nyo ng kawayan. So tama si Secretary Dar. Sec, matanong ko lang po, what's your prognosis? We are already on the last 2 months of the year. Palagay mo ba yung naudlot na upsurge ng agri in the second sem, will we manage to have a positive outcome this fourth quarter kahit na bagyo tayo?
It's a big challenge ito. Let me enumerate yung tatlong factors. Yung sa pagdating ng mga bagyo, so 11 billion na yung losses. Number two, yung livestock industry, yung ASF still lingers. So, ang laki po yung contribution ng livestock, talagang negative yon. Poultry, ganun din, umaangat lang ngayon starting fourth quarter. So, in spite of this, kami ay positive pa rin na positive growth pero hindi na siguro dun sa 2% na gusto natin mangyari. Hopefully, why not? That's always an aspiration to be much better than the population growth rate of 1.5%. So kung the best case would be to reach 1.5 this quarter of the year. So you have already itong last 3 semester an average of 0.8% positive growth sa agriculture.
Okay, that's good news and we will pray and hope for that. Yung mahalagang katanungan, I suppose, para doon sa mga nanonood dun sa mga probinsya at mga areas na nasalanta, is the Department of Agriculture going to come up with emergency relief solutions katulad po nung yung restocking? Kasi nung huli tayo nag-usap, natatandaan ko, Sek, meron kang binanggit na mamimigay kayo ng mga biik at saka ng mga baka ba yun o kambing, yung dispersal program ng DA. Meron ba para sa mga natinamaan?
Yes, Cito, tamang-tama nga itong Bayanihan 2. At with Bayanihan 2, alam niyo talagang ang Diyos ay nandyan gumagabay sa atin. Tamang-tama pagdating ng Bayanihan 2 budget, on top of the regular budget that we have. So we will restock sa poultry, we will restock doon sa livestock, sa baboy, sa fisheries, we will restock. And last Sunday, nung nandun kami sa together with the cabinet, with the president, ay nagbigay na kami ng certificate of award na for Cagayan Valley ay 2.2 billion po yung ibibigay natin na ready to be rehabilitating the agriculture industry of Region 2. And that will be the case for the whole of other regions na mayroon tayong nakahanda para dito sa dry season agriculture.
Okay, meron pong panawagan dito, isang suki natin sa agenda, Catherine Alejo Bukog. Pakisabi po kay Sec, yesterday po namili ako ng gulay sa palengke. Are they aware that ang palaya cost me 350 per kilo at kamatis ay 200 per kilo? Please tell Sec po na salamat sa kadiwa. Kasi siguro yung kadiwa, nakakamura sila, pero pag walang kadiwa, punta ka dun sa kagulang, yung magulang na tindahan.
Cito, I have met with my team again early this week after coming from Cagayan. And we agreed na to continue to elevate kadiwa kasi kadiwa will be an important marketing platform to really link producers and with the consuming public para mas mababa yung presyo. Yes, we understand na mayroon tayong spike ng mga basic commodities ngayon, but with the declaration na ating mahal na Pangulo, yung state of calamity, yung price freeze ay iiral na. So yeah, we will send our people in tandem with DTI para ma-monitor maigi itong mga iba't ibang presyo natin sa merkado.
Okay, saan po namin yan, Secretary? Kasi alam nyo, ang problema, may price freeze tayo sa mga commodities pero wala tayong price freeze sa crudo. And yan po yung nagiging malaking factor sa pag-travel ng mga produkto, tataas at tataas. Kung may kadiwa, medyo may kompetensya na sila. In any case,
Dito,
yes, sir.
mayroon kami expanded Kadiwa project supporting yung logistics. Kagaya, isang asosasyon o kooperatiba ay gusto nilang bumili ng truck para yung from their production area towards Metro Manila, may magagamit po sila. So mayroon kaming bago ito and we are expanding it under Bayanihan to 80-20, meaning yung cost of truck ay 80% galing sa DA, yung 20% ay equity ng asosasyon or kooperatiba. At ang dami pong gustong mag-avail itong programa nito.
Okay, well, abangan namin, Secretary, and pag tuloy-tuloy na, pakisabihan lang ako, alam mo namang supporter ng DA ang agenda. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Secretary.
Salamat po, Cito, at sana nga let's continue to plant at hindi lang sa crops, ito po sa livestock, poultry, and fisheries. Marami pong salamat.
Okay, thank you, Secretary William Dar. Ayun po, no, kasi may mga iba pupunahin, sasabihin, yung mga urban gardening, yung mga kadiwa, makakatulong. Nako po, malaking tulong kasi yung iba sa atin, medyo masarap ang buhay pero yung mga kaibigan natin, kapitbahay natin na medyo naghihikahos o kaya tinamaan na indulto or nawalan ng trabaho, yung urban gardening solusyon po, no? Tsaka, pag ikaw tinatamaan ng katamaran, ako ang dami ko na palang talong dun sa taas, ngayon, tong linggon to, sa arating linggo, puro pechay naman ang tatanim ko. Okay, we'll go for a quick break, and when we return, more of our interviews here on Agenda. Welcome back to Agenda. I'm Cito Beltran, your host, and you are watching us via Signal TV, channels 8 and 250. Kung wala pa po kayong Signal subscription at nanonood kayo ng Agenda via facebook.com/onenewsph, subscribe na po tayo sa Signal TV because in case you don't realize it, we also have replays noontime or just somewhere along that. Medyo mahina na yung alala natin. And then sa gabi po, alas 6 on Channel 8 and 250. In any case, let's move on to our next topic, next interview. Kasi ayan po, no, kung meron kayong Philippine Star, ayan, Baguio, Davao, COVID hotspots of serious concern. Mukhang habang binabasa ko ito kanina, damay na, pati Makati, etc. Alamin nga natin, let's find out from the people in the know, the people who are doing the statistical analysis. Hindi po sila doctor, scientist po sila. Binabantayan nila yung pagtaas, baba ng mga kaso, mga pasyente sa kama, sa ICU, etc. Let's go to our regular resource person from the University of the Philippines, OCTA Research Group. Let's go to Professor Guido David. Professor Guido, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Cito. Good to see you again.
Oh, aba, iba na naman ang look mo ha. Mukha ka ng Che Guevara ka na.
Hindi lang nakapag-shave eh.
Okay. Prof. Guido, ano ba to? Medyo itong kayo yung kinukot dito na may mga hotspots. Because, before the parade, Santa Cruzan ng mga bagyo, akala na, di ba sabi ninyo, bumababa na yung mga cases. In fact, last I heard was on a daily rate, the cases in Metro Manila, NCR, was about 458, mga ganon. Aba, ngayon may bago namang data, pati yata Makati na banggit na. Could you please elaborate or clarify these things?
Actually, Cito, sa Metro Manila, things are looking good naman. In fact, below na ng sinabi mong number. The average now per day, nasa mga 360 sa Metro Manila, which is very good. Very good. Ano na to, parang bumalik na tayo sa nung early June. Ganun yung numbers sa Metro Manila. So we're really getting close to really managing yung pandemic sa Metro Manila. Yung Makati na mention lang din sa report because of yung yung hospital occupancy nila, it's very high. They're past 70%. Actually, halos lahat ng LGUs sa Metro Manila below 70% na compared to around no mga August, September. I think more than half ng mga cities sa Metro Manila nasa critical level. Pero ngayon, lumuwag na. Ibig sabihin, kumukonti na talaga yung kaso. Some of the LGUs natin, nasa 20% occupancy na lang. So, depende. Pero,
sorry, Guido. Why is Makati a standout? Kasi ang dami nilang pera, napaka-modern nila, maganda yung system nila. What makes them different? What happened?
Cito, yun din yung isa naming we're trying to understand din, and right now we're trying to communicate din with Makati to get to the ang isang possible explanation is pwede siyang holding area ng mga returning overseas workers, so doon na pupunta yung mga ibang mga yung mga positives, parang doon naka-quarantine. I mean, that's one possibility. Yung hospitals nila, we're also not sure. Marami magagandang hospitals sa Makati. So maybe it's possible na yung mga nag-stay sa Makati na hospitals, hindi naman Makati residents pala. So that's one possible explanation. So we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Kaya nga, it's better if we communicate with Makati directly para makita namin kung ano yung datos nila. I mean, maybe may explanation for all these things. Kami naman, we just see the overall picture. Kinall out lang namin because of the high hospital occupancy. But generally, all the cities in Metro Manila, pababa yung caseload. Yeah, I mean, for example, Quezon City, nasa 67 cases per day na lang. And mababa na yun. Dati nasa umabot ng 400 to 500.
Now, could this be a case of, kasi I'm just trying to figure it out, no, because we're all only looking at data or statistics. Is it possibly because Makati doesn't have so many hospitals relative to its population, or are you really simply looking at cases in hospitals?
Oh, yeah, we're looking at cases in hospitals. Well, at least yung occupancy nila, like how many beds they have available. Sometimes function din yan ng hospitals adding more beds. So we have seen that in some cities na puno ng hospitals nila. So what they did, they added more beds sa hospital. So bumaba yung occupancy nila. So kung meron silang headroom, ang Makati kasi wala silang headroom masyado because yun nga, almost full ng hospitals. But I would say na konti lang hospitals nila. In fact, they have some of the they have several hospitals there. May mga government hospitals, may maraming private. So I think in terms of yung number of hospitals, I think they're okay naman. Even relative to population.
So mas malamang at malamang kasi sa Makati, you have the Makati Medical, 'di ba? Siyempre puntahan 'yon ng mga gusto ng first class na gamutan. Tapos yung ano ba 'yung ospital ng Makati, alam ko naman libre 'yun. So siyempre doon din pupunta yung mga tao. So probable. Now, aside is the situation in Makati a cause for alarm, or this is just a cause of concern na guys, you better watch your numbers kasi tumataas kayo compared to others? Alarm ba ito o concern lang?
It's not an alarm. It's just, I would say even sa concern, the level of concern is not very high. I mean, we just wanted to call them out. Kasi everything's going in the right direction sa Metro Manila. Our positivity rate sa Metro Manila is 4%. So that's just the lowest we've been since May. So that means we have enough testing. So okay naman testing natin. We have yun nga, we're capturing most of the positive cases dahil mababa na yung positivity rate natin. It's even below the 5% na standard ng World Health Organization. So we're getting there. We're getting maybe to 3%. So ang target natin sa Metro Manila, I mean, we could be looking at maybe even 200 cases by the end of the month.
Based on your announcements or the data you mentioned or analysis of the data, I was really surprised that Baguio and Davao City is in the news again. Kasi ang impression ng marami, Baguio was under control. They have a great mayor. They have a great contact tracing SAR. They have a confined community. So, tapos yung Davao, syempre, nandun yung Sara Duterte at saka hometown ni Presidente. Tamaan kayo ng lintik pag hindi nyo inayos yan. But what happened? What's the cause of concern, or why is Baguio and Davao in the news again as far as COVID cases go?
Actually, yung Baguio, napapansin na namin yan. We've been reporting them for several weeks na andun sila. And andun nga yung contact tracings are. But I would admit na when your caseload becomes high, mahirap na mag-contact tracing kasi sobrang dami na baka hindi na kaya ng contact tracing team nila. I mean, if you're getting only 10 cases per day, mas madali mag-contact tracing. Pero if you're getting, let's say, 60 cases per day, mas mahirap mag-contact tracing. Although in fairness to Baguio and Davao, we did see a decrease na in cases compared to the previous week. So maybe they're trending in the right direction. We call them out lang because mataas pa rin yung caseload nila. So kumaga, maybe pababa na. So if they continue doing what they're doing na okay naman, maybe they're on a downward trend. Pero hindi lang naman sa Davao City. We're starting to see it even sa Davao del Norte, some cities like Tagum, tumataas yung cases nila sa Digos. So may mga cities na adjacent. Yun yung problem that's why we're calling them out. Medyo nagkakahawaan sa region yun. And sa Benguet, hindi lang sa Baguio City, we're also seeing it sa La Trinidad and sa Itogon. And aside from that, hindi namin kinall out, but we're also starting to see an increase in cases sa Region 2, sa Cagayan and Isabela. And even before pa to ng flooding. So we might see even more of an increase. Pero, I know they're hurting right now. Our heart goes out to Region 2, Cagayan, Isabela. Pero, we have to call this out kasi syempre, during the evacuation, hindi na syempre masusunod yung mga protocols. And it's very possible, even in Metro Manila, it's possible we might see a delayed spike kasi hindi natin nakikita agad yan. If it happens, it will happen 1 to 2 weeks from now. Baka sa places like Marikina na talagang severe yung flooding, they might have an increase in cases kasi hindi talaga nasusundod yung protocol sa evacuation. So we have to be careful right now. I mean, things are looking good, pero as usual, medyo guarded optimism tayo.
Okay, any indicators, good or bad, connected with the opening up or the loosening up of movement in Metro Manila and nationwide? Kasi bagamat GCQ pa rin tayo, talagang nagluwag ang IATF, the officials. But some people are saying, wala namang spike eh. Mukhang okay, mukhang gets na ng tao na mag-ingat. What are the numbers telling you?
Well, that's true, Cito. So nung nagluwag tayo, I mean, even our team was very cautious na we might see an increase in cases due to the mobility increase.
Yeah.
Our indicators are still good. So yung positivity rate bumaba pa lalo. I mean, this is before yung sabi niya nga, yung parade of typhoons. So we have yet to see kung may effect yung typhoons kasi hindi na nasunod yung protocols. But the indicators are showing na we're actually still trending in the right direction, even though nag-loosen na tayo. And we're happy to see that. I mean, even if we said na there might be some risks, we're always happy to be wrong regarding these things. So yung mga commuters, parang we're not seeing any increase in transmissions. I think ang primary reason dyan is medyo nasanay ng mga tao. And after months of, having the virus, sanay ng mga tao going out with masks and face shields. I mean, hindi tayo 100% compliant in wearing face masks. We have data to show na, I mean, it looks like mga 80% compliant lang. Pero, maybe that's decent, that's good enough. And I'm not sure, there's a data in it, kung outdoors naman siya, outdoors mababaling risk of transmission. So indicators are good, pero yun nga, yung evacuation we have yet to see. So kung magkakaroon ng increase doon.
Yeah.
Pero so far, the modified, I mean, hindi na tayo parang nasa GCQ. It feels like a very relaxed GCQ. It might even be like MGCQ. Ang only nakita ko lang concern is, and we're not seeing this at the national level yet, nakita ko lang sa isang LGU, kasi we work with certain LGUs, ang nakita namin is nagka-increase ng cases dun sa age 60 to 64. And that is relevant kasi we're allowing them to go outside now. And nagkaroon ng increase ng cases doon, whereas bumaba doon sa other age groups. So that is something na we have to be concerned about kasi medyo mataas yung mortality rate sa age 60 to 64. It's still around 7%.
Aba, meron nga akong napanood na video clip nung mga namatay daw na mga sikat na tao sa entertainment abroad, no? Lalo na yung mga musicians. Aba, medyo tumaas balahibo ko kasi, most of them were 60 and above. And I was saying, oh my, that's why everyone is panicking about senior citizens. Now, you said there was a uptick of cases. Now, do you have any idea if these cases were because they went out or because their children or grandchildren had gone out, were asymptomatic, and brought it home?
Well, syempre, we don't have definite data on if it's a home transmission or community transmission. Pero if I were to guess, the best guess is it's because they went out. Kasi yung sa ibang age group, bumaba pa sila. And kung nagkaroon ng home transmissions, siguro dapat meron din sa mga other age groups. Yes, even though some of them are asymptomatic, yung mga 21 to 59 naman, hindi naman tumaas din yung numbers nila. I mean, a lot of them are going out, they're going to work, pero bumaba yung numbers nila. Ang tumaas lang talaga specifically dun sa 60 to 64. Pero again, this is not definite, wala pa tayong mako-conclude dito because we saw it at one LGU that we're working with, hindi pa because we haven't delineated some of the data of the other LGUs. Pero yun nga, I mean, that's at least something to be maybe concerned about. And as you said, mataas yung case fatality rate for this age group. 7 out of 100 will die if they get infected. So that is a big amount. Whereas 21 to 59, only mga 1%, only 1 out of 100 will die.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary because you don't really know where it comes from. I remember my wife was so thankful, ironic yung kanyang gratitude kasi nung umuwi siya sa Pilipinas, doon na-expose yung anak namin na nasa Holland, nasa Netherlands. And sabi niya, if I had been in the Netherlands and I was with our daughter, with Hannah, chances are my wife would have gotten the the COVID because syempre lagi silang magkasama. And you don't realize this because my daughter was asymptomatic the whole time. Thank God she's okay. But all of her titas and titos in the Netherlands are saying, thank God we found out quickly. So marami talaga sa mga senior citizen po natin, mag-ingat kayo. In any case, any other important data, Guido? Kasi yung Cebu, matanong ko lang, no? Ito, may mga tanong, no? Please raise this thought. If Baguio, we have consistent, nako, ang daming mga pumapasok dito kasing text ngayon. Ito, please raise this thought. If Baguio, we have been consistent in contact tracing and have been asked to open up to tourists, how consistent are the contact tracers and or testing in Metro Manila? Could it be that the numbers seem to be going down because the tracing and testing have been relaxed to push the economy? Call Baguio and Davao out if one is very certain that all variables that produce the numbers on which analysis or forecasts are at the very least consistent to the set standard. Parang siyempre, mukhang itong si AK Vils, medyo nagre-react. Siyempre, tiga Baguio yata yan.
Yes. Well, regarding that, syempre, iba-iba naman yung we don't have data on each city's contact tracing capabilities. Pero hindi lang naman syempre contact tracing. We have in fact data that shows na yung localized lockdown actually was very effective. Nakita namin yan sa isang LGU that was implementing these localized lockdowns. Ibig sabihin, barangay level lockdown yan. And they acted quickly and they were able to prevent a small outbreak. So there are many, many factors. Ang kina-call out natin, we're not saying, they're not doing their job or something. We're just saying that, wait, we have to look at your case because itong Davao City and yung Baguio because marami pang cases and their hospitals are getting close to full. That is another concern. So hindi lang naman yung cases but it's the full. Ang worry natin of course is yung health system nila may become overwhelmed if their pandemic is not managed. Hindi naman natin sinasabing sobrang out of control na. We're just saying, hey, look, ingat tayo dyan. Yung mga citizens nyo, maybe be more cautious. Maybe be more vigilant to wear face masks and face shields. Because nangyari naman yan sa mga iba-ibang places. Nangyari yan we called out Bacolod and Iloilo. Nagkaroon sila ng increase of cases noong mga August, September. But now they're managing it. Things are getting better in Bacolod and Iloilo. So hindi naman yan permanent na when we call out. It means you're not doing your job or things are It just means na something's happening. We don't have all the data. We're just seeing an overview of what's happening. We just want to give attention to the maybe local government, to the citizens in that city. Now, hey, at least be careful. And gano'n rin sa mga senior citizens, 60 to 64, if they're allowed to go out, at least nasa kanila na yung option if they want to be extra careful. Kasi sinasabi natin na tumatas yung number of cases sa mga 60 to 64 para aware din sila na, hey, maybe hindi nila ako lalabas even if I'm allowed to go out or I'll just go out to buy essentials. Yes.
No, and also Guido, I mean, it's very useful, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the information, listen to the information, consider the information. Hindi naman po ito judgment. This is not hating on anyone. It is not judging on anyone. But like this thing with the 60 to 64, no one's talking about it. Paano na lang kung biglang sabihin ni Presidente, tigil muna yung paglabas ng lahat ng senior citizen. Di magwawala tayong lahat. Mumurahin ninyo yung Presidente, mumurahin niyo yung IATF because no one, and if there's anything to fault here, it is the lack of this kind of information. No one shared the information that there has been a spike of cases between 60 and 64. Ayun, doon po sa hospital cases. Hindi natin alam yan, hindi natin iniisip yan. Pero baka mamaya yan, ma-hospital kayo, pagdating nyo sa hospital, sorry, we're full, magwala kayo, and then you will say, no hospital wanted to take me. But we all need this information so that we can be careful. Wag yung pong kasi meron din dito na nag-comment si Ildefonso Bayani, sabi niya, it seems to me the two professors are working on so many variables. I mean, you're only working on data presented about hospital beds, hospital bed occupancy of COVID, right?
Yeah, yes, yes, Ito. So we're not working on so many variables. In fact, I would say konti nga yung variables namin because yun nga, yung hospital occupancy, yung number of cases, yung attack rate, and then yung positivity rate. So we're looking at those variables. Hindi naman namin mako-call out yung isang city kung mataas lang siya sa isang variable. It means na itong Baguio City and Davao City, mataas sila sa lahat ng variables. And hindi naman din to, yun nga, shaming or, or anything. Kasi ang nangyayari is when we call out certain cities, nag-i-improve sila eh. So it means the information is relevant. Nagagamit nilang information. Like yung Bacolod and yung, I mean, even before, back then, we called out Cebu City. Of course, everyone was calling out Cebu City. Pero look what happened. Na-manage nila eh. So it's just about how we respond to this information. That's the important part of it.
Speaking of Cebu City, Professor Guido, is it correct? Meron daw uptick na naman o merong hotspot? Could you share that?
Yes, actually, Cito, medyo maliit pa lang siya ngayon, but may uptick nga sa Cebu. And we don't call every uptick because we're not alarmist naman na, tumaas lang na konti sa isang lugar. Hey, ito, lockdown na agad. Hindi naman tayo ganun eh. We just want to call attention. And we're not even saying na i-lockdown itong mga areas na to or, but we're just saying people should be more vigilant about,
So what's the situation in Cebu?
Well, there is a slight uptick, and we want to see more of it. I mean, not see more of the uptick, but we want to see more data before we make a more serious recommendation. Hindi pa naman ganun kalala actually. Like yung number of cases nila increased, nag-double over 1 week. But sometimes, like I said, these things happen. So nag-increase yata to 47 cases per day na from about 20s. So, but their hospital occupancy is very low and their positivity is low. So hindi pa naman tayo concerned about Cebu, but we're keeping an eye on them. And pag sunod-sunod tong increase na to, then we're definitely going to call them out na. Ganun din naman nangyari sa Cebu, sa Baguio City. We were already seeing the uptick before, and we were mentioning it na sa reports na yun. But now, since several weeks now, more than 1 month na silang medyo serious yung situation, that's why we're calling them out.
Okay.
Hindi naman to ngayon lang nangyari. I mean, we waited and they have to do something about it.
Okay, well, we know, Professor Guido David, that you and Ranjit Rai and the OCTA group are doing this in service, in the interest of public information. You guys have no agenda. Ako may agenda, yung programa, agenda. Pero kayo walang agenda, and we know that what you are sharing is to inform people so that they can be aware, beware, and be careful. Okay. Maraming salamat, Professor Guido David. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you, Cito. Good morning.
Okay, ang po si Professor Guido David ng UP OCTA Research Group at may mga nagtatanong dito, do they have mathematical model for each area or city where the concentration of COVID-19 high is concerned? Sabi ko po, no, nadinig naman nyo, they're basically basing it on case, hospital occupancy, attack rate, etc. Pero hindi po masyadong masalimuot yan. Simple lang. Kasi yun lang din naman ang nabibigay ng mga hospital, LGU, ng National DOH. Okay? So, what's important, ladies and gentlemen, is, ito nga kuminsan, chismis lang, naniniwala tayo, di ba? Okay, may chismis. Mayroon daw may sakit na ganito. Ayun yun ang dumaan doon. Chismis lang yun. Ito, science, di ba? Science to, base sa actual data. In any case, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, we carry on with our interviews, updates here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm Cito Beltran, your host, and you are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 and 250. We now move on to Cebu City, and just to give you an update, granular lockdowns coupled with strict border monitoring will be implemented in Cebu City. This after local officials noted a resurgence of the new COVID-19 cases. Cebu City has recorded 292 cases recently. The mayor, Edgardo Labella, explained that he found it more prudent to implement granular or neighborhood-level lockdowns to revive the local economy while ensuring the safety of the people. Cebu City LGU has yet to come up with a total number of areas that would be placed under the granular lockdown. The borders will be closed for those traveling, for leisure, and non-official businesses, while workers and frontliners can enter the city if they present the they present proper documents. DOH reports that COVID-19 cases in Cebu City started rising last week. The number of COVID-19 cases in the city has not exceeded, I have to correct this later. But let's find out from our next interviewee, Vice Mayor Mike Rama of Cebu. Vice Mayor, good morning.
Morning, Cito. Good morning sa lahat ng viewers.
Okay, sir, what's the latest on COVID-19 and this reported granular lockdowns in Cebu City?
Well, we're looking forward optimistically because as of yesterday, it was coming out pretty well good, Cito, that it's not going to be a thing that we must be too alarmed. And in fact, our trust, especially Sangguniang Panglungsod, which I am the head, we are looking forward to really serious protocol health compliance. Yun lang talaga, for me, for us, recovery economically should not be much connected with the word lockdown. Because pag palagi tayong nag-lockdown, baka ma-knockdown.
Okay.
Kaya importante ang ginagawa, especially from the side of the Sangguniang at saka from the private sector, which we are also sensitive to hear them out. They are more of really protocol serious enforcement.
Okay.
Protocol serious enforcement. Kaya yung from my part, which the mayor is very much aware, I am organizing and I've been to a continuing barangay sites, 134 sites or more so, on the organization called CPEM. Parang NAMPREL to, Citizens Protocol Enforcement Movement, whereby lahat where they are being asked to swear in na talagang magiging protocol enforcement martial. If all citizens in the city of Cebu, 15-year-old up, will be performing more of a volunteer reminding about Wuhan. You know what is Wuhan? Wash your hand, use
Okay.
your face mask, have your temperature checked, avoid crowded places, never touch your face, mouth, eyes, at saka nose. Ang pinakalas, yun, discipline. Discipline talaga, Sito.
Okay.
Kaya I wish this is very much already sounded off and the Chamber of Commerce is supportive itong advocacy natin to bring everybody here in Cebu City. Make Wuhan a way of life.
Okay. Now, going back to this granular lockdown. So, are you saying that there will be no granular lockdowns for the moment?
We do, you know, I will be talking with my mayor
Mm.
kasi ang nakikita ngayon na it caught much of a surprise to everyone. And we are also very glad na Secretary Roy Simato hit the ground yesterday, or the other day. And I even had a talk with him as well before he left for Tugigaraw.
Yeah.
Talagang ang focus natin dito sa Cebu City para we can continue to be economically active. It must be freedom with responsibility.
Okay.
Kaya
How is your economy doing right now? Because dito sa Metro Manila, medyo nagluwag. They're a little more easygoing about it. Pero we're also doing the same thing. We are strictly observing, enforcing the health protocols. How is the economy in Cebu City?
it's picking up. Sito, it's picking up. Talagang, kaya pag papasok na naman tayo ng word ng lockdown, allergic yung mga tao dito ng lockdown. Yung possible, yung pag nag-identify ka ng bahay, yung sinasabing granular, doon ka na. Pero if you're talking about, gaya the other day, and until maybe right now, ang pinaka-importante ngayon, we have to be mindful na talagang lahat maging conscious. Kasi nag-o-open nga kami. Pero yung mga tao naman, at one time, pumupunta sa Plaza Independencia, nabigyan naman namin ng permit. Hindi naman mindful ng observant ng protocol requirements. Yun talagang focus
Okay.
namin. Yun ang focus talaga. Lahat,
Yung are the police, the military stepping in kasi nung nagkaroon, when you had your initial problem with COVID-19 a few months back, the military came in kompleto pa with APC, etc. Ngayon ba, who is doing the monitoring and who is calling out people who are not following? Kumbaga, is it the police? Is it barangay tanods? Or do you have special patrols going around telling people to observe?
actually, meron na yan. Kaya nga, in-expand lang natin ngayon. Saka, we are organizing as many as 10,000 citizens to become protocol enforcement marshal. At
Okay.
saka, yun ang pinaka-importante talaga. Dito nga sa household ko, I have my own protocol enforcement marshal Cito. And his job really is to remind everybody na talagang mag-face mask, magwawash your hand, tapos yung avoid being too near with each other. Yung lahat ng mga simple requirement. Saka makikita ko naman, mga malls naman, they are very serious. Yung churches din, serious din. Ang kailangan lang namin i-focus talaga sito, itong transportation.
What's
Tapos,
the problem?
because yung transportation, yung mga buses, pag pumapasok sa basis, punong-puno, walang window. Ano mangyayari? Tapos, yung sinasabi kong ini-endorse ko na yan sa executive, Singapore style, yung queuing ba, na mayroong steel, saka mayroong signages dyan ng talagang 1 meter or 1.5 meter away. Tapos pag
Okay.
pumasok sa basis, talagang stricto. Hindi yung punong-puno yung basis. Kaya alam naman namin, nakita naman yung mga area of concern, hindi man kagaya noon na wala kaming talagang klaro na EOC, yung Emergency Operation Center. Itong EOC is being also monitored by IETF. Kaya nga
Okay.
bumalik si Secretary Roy Simato to take a look at it. Kitang-kita naman yung area saan yung nagiging cause ng transmission.
What about yung testing, Vice Mayor? Kasi before, medyo binaha kayo ng test kits, hospital, frontliners, etc. What is the level of testing and contact tracing at the moment?
Alam mo, we are pretty good kasi I just had a meeting. Kasi ako chairman ng coronavirus sa Sangguniang Panglungsod. After learning the certain concern, minute ko lahat a few days ago, the other day. Then the consensus was, we don't need a lockdown. Okay? Number two, the consensus was, the hospital is pretty well, very ready. There's been no concern in the private hospital. There's been no concern even in the public hospitals. Ang pinaka-importante lang, talagang totok, yung sinasabing totok. Yung totok, yung mga sinasabi nating areas. Yung kanina, enumerate ko. Kasi pinasok doon sa presentation
Yeah,
ng aming City Health na
yeah.
may marong area sa malls, may area sa public market, may area sa transportation. Doon makikita mo, doon ngayon ang focus natin.
Okay, yung what about the barangays, Vice, na naging hot zones? 2 months ago, hindi ba nagkadimandahan pa yata dyan or nagkatakutan pa na kasi may isang babae na nag-post na tinawag na kaharian ng COVID or something, isang barangay. What about those hot zones? What's the situation now?
Actually, from that time, we were able to neutralize. We call it neutralize. In fact, Secretary Roy Simato graded perfect the way we handled. It's just what we call possibilities, which we already have identified. Lahat ng mga barangays, they are all helping. Everybody here in Cebu, we all are helping. Simbahan, church, barangay, tapos government. Imagine 3.5 billion na yung naubos na pinalabas namin, inaprubahan namin from the city government. And we are even spending more than Quezon City, Cito. We are less than 1 million. I was told that Quezon City spent at 2 million, but the population is 3 million.
Yeah.
Kami dito, we are only less than 1 million. Kaya there'll be no reason na hindi namin ma-neutralize, hindi namin ma-contain. We will
Yeah,
be able to contain.
Your regular population is under 1 million, but your daytime population is probably 3 times that. Or are you limiting at the borders na?
Ang actually, pag tinasabi mong weekdays, from the point of view of political understanding, weekdays namin, million yan. Pag weekend naman, less than 1 million. Kasi umuwi yon.
Yeah.
Umuwi sa metropolitan saka sa province.
How are you controlling that traffic, yung paano mo masiguro or ensure that they're not carriers?
Alam mo, even the province, under the tutelage ni Governor Gwen Garcia, she's very focused. She's very focused. Even yung mga Tri-Cities din, we are practically all focused. Eh, nangyayari lang na talagang we identified naman yan. Hindi kagaya noon, hit and miss kami. Ngayon with EOC, under deputy implementer namin ngayon si Councilor Joel Garganera, lahat lang dyan yan. Technology, yung mga health workers, frontliners, nandyan yan. Minomonitor yan. And we all are really in what we call in control. In control. Kaya
Okay.
I wish that this matter about the worry on lockdown, kasi we are not on a lockdown. And we should
Okay.
not be on a lockdown. Because
Okay, that's good.
otherwise, magiging knockdown yung ekonomiya natin.
Okay, that's good to know, Vice Mayor. Now, allow me to shift, no? Because you mentioned churches, and I know that Cebu is, the people of Cebu City, particular, are very religious, very spiritual. I think in one conversation I had with you, nabanggit mo na magkakaroon na ng how many 100-year anniversary dyan sa Cebu. I don't know, baka naman, alam mo na, medyo may Alzheimer's na ako. May old-timers na.
Wag kang sasabi ng Alzheimer's, okay. Alam
Old-timer.
Boy,
Yeah, old-timers na lang. Old-timer.
you are the son of your father, okay?
Okay, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, of course. That's why
In any case.
I'm
Yeah, no.
very proud to have, ties with you.
Okay,
Yesterday, today.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but in any case, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be observing some big celebration.
Sinulog.
Okay, paano na yan?
preparing for a virtual, I call it an orthodox, unconventional, innovative sinolog. I am being affirmed by the Mayor Edgardo Colina Labella, to be the initiator.
Okay.
And then at the same time, with the 500 years of Christianity. Plus, we are looking forward for a triumphant Sinulog 2022. So with this preparation, Cito, we already had
Wait. You
almost
said
40 meetings.
wait a minute. You said 2022. What?
21, 22.
Okay. Naniniguro lang ako. Baka mamaya kinancel nyo na yung 21 eh.
Hindi. Yung preparation na postpone nga
Aha.
would have been 2020, 2020,
Yeah.
2021.
Oo.
Kasi alam mo, yung March 16, 1521, kay Yoyoy Villame, the Philippines was discovered.
Okay, correct.
Kaya ito ngayon, we have a pre-Sinulog, then 500 years Sinulog edition, then looking forward with the preliminary of a triumphant Sinulog.
Okay.
Kaya they really need to develop a culture of Wuhan. Sinabi kong wash your hand, saka face mask, lahat-lahat. We need this because this will also build our economy. This will also create confidence level.
Well, yeah. Okay, I hope you can find a way kasi di ba sa PBA, sa mga iba pang events, meron na silang bubble. I really wish to God you can find a
Now
way.
you pray.
That
Because
you
Tito, this whole thing is not just for Cebu. Remember, when you talk about Sinulog, it's a cultural, historical, even tourism. When I started organizing this in 2021, in the year 2000, 2000, until 2016, nag-umpisa lang ito ng viewer of 180,000. Tapos 2016, it ended up 4 million going to Cebu, coming here. Kaya we do not expect this thing to happen, that number. But we've got to start with a sense of optimism. We've got to build our confidence.
So it's going to be
our confidence, mananalo ang COVID-19 sa atin.
Okay, so it's going to be a virtual sinulog. Tuloy ang sinulog, and it will happen in various
Yeah,
stages.
it's a combination, Cito, it's a combination of substantially virtual. There will be physical, ritual, but no audience. No
Okay.
audience. We will be seeing to it that the word is bubble. That is how we will be bringing this whole thing, but not the complete bubble. Kasi ang laki-laki ng kailangan ng expense pag yung sinasabi mong complete bubble.
Okay. Wala. No space big enough to contain sinulog. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vice Mayor, and please stay strong, stay healthy, and stay
You
safe.
too. Huwag kang mag-assignment, ha?
Okay, that's Vice Mayor Michael Rama of Cebu City. Thank you. And for those who are watching us from Cebu City, according to Vice Mayor, if you guys can simply swear by the Bible that you will follow all health protocols and that you will be a protocol employee, protocol enforcement marshal, everything will be good at may iwasan nyo na yung mga granular lockdowns, whether in your neighborhood, barangay, or parts of the city. So we wish the people of Cebu well, and I just want to thank our viewers. I want to thank those people who have sent in messages. And of course, the agenda team for continuing the hard work of finding guests, relevant topics, and putting the show together. Kasi alam niyo po, ako yung nakikita niyo, pero may mga kasama ko, the team agenda, sila Dijo, sila Jen, sila Winona, sila Gab, our executive producer, and the directors and the staff. You don't see them, but many of them have to get up at 3, 4 in the morning in order to prepare for this show. We hope that in one way or another, our work makes a difference in your life, helps give you information that can provide you strategies or information that will protect you from COVID-19, and remind you also that in all things, honor God, in all things, give glory to God. I'm Cito Beltran, and that's today's agenda.